VG Gaming Bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2, make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO, guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quest for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Welcome back to the Asian Major, for the Major. And of course, we are on the third best of three here today, James, and we've got VG Gaming versus Renegades. Renegades stomped them on map one. It was pretty ridiculous, actually. I mean, we were talking about all the power of the Renegades team. We didn't see the individuals all play amazing at once until last map, and it was 16-1.
Yeah. So we're going to move straight on from that map because there is nothing to say other than Renegades firing on all cylinders that were available or required. VG will be starting on the CT side of Nuke, the pick of Renegades. So let's see if they can mount a better score. Is this game live? No, it's not live just yet, but it will be soon. It will be soon. Again, if it goes to a third map, then we'll have a knife round, but before then, we won't. Shapely beard there. I'm not one for beards. It looks like bum fluff on my face, so I just don't do that, Dan. That's
great to know. I do wonder if this pick of Nuke for Renegades is somewhat of a I don't know, a mistake potentially. I mean, it depends on the reasoning. I would just love to hear the reasoning. Maybe we can get that at some point.
What is the reasoning for it potentially being a mistake?
Well, the thing is that if they did it because they feel like VG Gaming, they spotted some problems, because despite VG Gaming being able to win the Nuke against Tyloo previously today, there were some problems, some fairly exploitable issues when it came to the way the lower bomb site worked, in how they were defending outside, how they were keeping tabs on information, and how they were managing rotation. So, for example, they're very susceptible to a team doing like wall of smokes, going down into the lower bomb site through secret, because control room was always for free, basically. That's a really big problem. And most teams will, Nuke teams would just love that situation, because it means that, because once you have control room, you have the best chance to win the round. That's usually where the battle is. And oftentimes with Nuke, you're going to see the team that wins the battle over control room will win the round, because it's such a good base of operations for either a defense of a lower B push or if you get the bomb down for the post plant setup, it's so strong. So we'll see if maybe that's what Renegades spotted, because that was the biggest weakness of VG Gaming. Or maybe Renegades just feel really confident on this map.
Yeah, I mean, if Renegades feel like they are far superior on this map, and there are lots of mistakes that were made by VG that weren't exploited by their opponents, then perhaps they can capitalize on that even better and have a more dominating score. With a 16-1 on Dust 2, I would say, I mean, Nuke is a complicated map. I think one of its strengths is that it's a very complicated map, and as teams continue to develop on it, teams who don't have such solid strats, I think, will run into a lot of trouble on a map such as this. Yeah, I do wonder what its future is. Teams say that they like it now. I'm not sure what it's like from a spectator experience, though, and that is something to consider as well. So we're into the match now. Double dual bressers coming out for Advent, which is interesting on the CT side. I mean, I do wonder if he will be playing towards Squeaky with those. We will find out. Glocks, 5 Glocks for the Renegade side. No grenade shenanigans. They just want headshots. But they may be the recipient of those headshots. Let's see. Advent going up the ladder into the A site. But no one's going close to the door just yet, apart from the T's. Oh, Shoking's here, actually. He's got 1 kill. JKS and Usilo, though, coming back. 5 men down. Make it 6. 2 men per side now. We've got those Julies down. TB and Savage remaining. TB coming in from the flank while Savage runs distraction towards main. But it's Azza planting the bomb on B.
Yeah, the elevator plant, the problem plant. But can he get control of the vents? Because that's where everyone is. And the Glock is going to be so good in this enclosed space. Oh, can't quite find the headshot there as it goes down. And TB can get himself a lovely defuse for his team. VG Gaming will get off to a good start on the CT side with some good money. So if the outside plays, or if there is the strategies to be exploited for Renegades on their T side, we are going to have to wait a little bit to see them, as they aren't going to have much money to play with. And this is a great start for VG Gaming. And with the kind of individual performances we were seeing on the previous map, you do have to favor Renegades a little bit, just regardless of anything else. I feel like. I love this. 5 UMPs. Brilliant stuff. It's
impossible not to favor Renegades because we didn't see anything from VG, literally, in that last game. So we have nothing to go on. Within the vacuum of this series, that is. Wow, we've got big pistol kills coming in. The bomb is going to get planted, or is it? We've got a fast play coming up heaven. And indeed, the bomb has gone down. Another headshot of the P250. These P250s have never done better work. Usilo alone hasn't got much to save in this situation. Definitely needs to try and clutch this one for his side. Got a 1 versus 1. The bomb will be protected. The bomb diffuser, rather. He'll come off the bomb, but won't be required. 2 VG players survive. So good thing that they, I mean, in some ways, it's good that they bought the SMGs. You could say that if they bought the rifles, maybe they would have a better time of it, though. But that's a question mark. Whereas the facts are that they bought the UMPs, they'll survive with 2, and they'll still have money to pull out the M4s in this particular round. And a really good utility as well. So it's worked out for VG, despite the hardship. Great work with the pistols, though. Renegade's aim is looking really on point at the moment.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, because I think previously, or earlier today when we saw Renegades, it only really felt like Azza was having a good day, but after that last map, I think everybody's warm and feeling good, and Ricky was also having problems earlier today on this map, and I can't wait to see how Ricky performs with the AWP on the CT side later on, but we are on the T side for now. And Advent's in a great position. I wonder if there's going to be any Molotov for that. Yam does have a Molotov on the roof, so if he can Molotov high, if that is to be the push up in the upper site, then that Molotov needs to go down.
He's holding a flash at the moment, so we may not see the Molotov. Someone would presume his team would be pushing with the flash. There's the first one. Yam's probably throwing one from above as well, and indeed no Molotov. And Advent putting in great work from the roof. Molotov comes in far too late. Maybe the grenades are in the wrong order. The CT's fighting back strongly. Bomb down by the vent now. There goes Yam, 2 versus 1. JKS with 4 HP, and he will be unable to avoid choking. So, I mean, I can only imagine that in that situation, Renegades go for the flashbang first, because then there's less time to adapt for VG. If they throw the Molotov first, they might get an idea as to what's coming. But then that's what happens if you don't throw the Molotov first.
And you have no guarantee necessarily that the flash is going to get their guy on hot. I don't think. Unless it's specifically designed for that guy, but I'm not sure. I think you always need to just remove that position from being a possibility for the CTs. It's basically the biggest the biggest problem. And so you have to deal with that as it is the biggest problem first, and Molotov is the perfect way. And often teams, you'll see that in teams with those drills, that will be the Molotov that will go down. If there's any Molotov to go down, it will be onto the huts.
I'm not entirely sure the Molotov even went in the right place.
No, I don't think so. I think it missed completely. I think it was a complete miss there. Because it went more or less for Advent standing, basically. And I don't think that was... I mean, may have been for that position. That's a possibility. But again, I think the hut is more of a worry, generally speaking. Either way...
Renegades have 5 smokes in this round, which is not a full buy, because the only Azza has Kevlar. So there's a minute on the clock. And they still have 5 smokes, a bunch of players outside. Yam's deployed the first one, so it seems they may go for the wall towards Secret. And again, you've mentioned the lack of defense of Secret.
Yeah, and maybe the communication of the information, the rotation, and the lack of delay from having a CT in the control room, just able to toss a smoke down. That's really what you'd want to see. But this is also a somewhat of a different round because we don't have rifles here for Renegades, but at the same time, you can see they're just walking down here for free. And will they get the bomb plant for free as well? We saw this happening so many times earlier for Tyloo. They could just get down there without any problems. But again, because it's just pistols and there's no helmets or anything, you can see that it doesn't matter so much. But if these players had rifles, Kevlar, helmets, then you have a very different situation on your hand.
Silla's made it in, and he will force the issue. He needs to die so he can get his buy in the following round and do what he can to the economy. It was nothing on that occasion, but indeed he does die, so the buy comes out. Full weapons for Renegades. Yet to get a round on the boards. 1 up onto Savage. So let's see what Renegades side have in store for CyberZen. Istillo moving towards the outside with Azza as well. Early grenades being deployed. Maybe towards Garage, not sure. Ooh, Savage falls from the position with a Molotov. Not often you see a team Molotov going deep. Normally it's CT grenades dictating the pace there. Istillo makes his way quickly down into Secret. Is that going to pull a rotation from the CTs? Indeed, Savage down there pretty early. So perhaps VG have made some adjustments. Ramp play now from Renegades. And TB's just moving back. Wants to play with his teammates, doesn't want to play the numbers game and be isolated. He will use the Molotov as a brick wall and face the other way. Will they funnel in? There's one. JKS can't get a trade either. Azza finally does.
Yeah, just abusing this lower bomb site. Very nice push in after the heroic defense. TB getting the double. It's not going to be enough here. Azza's not stopping. Triple kill from him. Now, as Istillo can back him up. Coming in from the secret position. And they have a minute to play with. That's a lot of time for the Renegades players. The remainder of Renegades. But if they move one and one into the Vents position. Oh, and also Lovey coming in from the flank. There are problems here. Oh, Istillo somehow manages to get the kill there. Very unlikely frag, but that does put Advent in a 1 versus 2. Coming from the Vents. He's spotted the first player. Good trigger control coming in from Advent. Not quite sure where the next player is, though. 30 seconds to go here for Azza to make a decision. And that decision will be the plant, and Advent knows.
Azza makes his way into the lower door, and Advent comes through the double doors. The door's left open. No, it's closed now. Awkward for Azza. Advent has a kit as well, so Azza has to be really on point with this. He hears the running. All the baiting in the world from Advent. Does Azza believe in this one? He does, and it's going to go straight into the bullets of Advent. So still VG retain their clean sheet. This has to be considered a surprising start to Nuke. Do you think they're regretting the pick, Dan?
Well, I mean that's the thing. I generally think that even if Renegades are spotting some weaknesses, they should just be playing within their comfort. They should be picking within their comfort. And I do feel like when we saw, when we see them on maps that they know, like Dust 2, like Cobblestone, and so on, it's such a different team as to when we saw them on Nuke earlier today. And so I'm just surprised. I think they would have a much better time on Train, which is something that I think Natu pointed out that they could very well have picked Train. That was up for grabs. Oh, hello. Istillo with a very quick pick there onto Show King. That is disappointing there for VG Gaming. Starting off with, a man down, and Lovey's very low health as well on outside. Actually getting tagged down there by, I think it was actually Azza. So the problems here for VG Gaming, and this is you know, Savage back to his usual shenanigans potentially with the UMP. And how will Savage play this? He can't possibly peek. He's got to stay at the bottom of the stairs, playing the off angle. If he peeks, he's in a high risk situation.
He's having a look. He's having a butcher's.
Oh my goodness! He almost died, James.
Yeah, and he's learned his lesson, running tail between legs, all the way back to the vents. Minutes on the clock for Renegades to capitalize on this man advantage. Being very careful. Still can use the time while that smoke is deployed. Now it's gone. He's still in an awkward position. What is he looking to do? Drops the flash, and he's going to start harassing towards the A site, looking for the player above the hut. And there's a clean entry into the A site, leaving TB alone, wondering what the hell just happened. Bomb goes down as well. Lovely execute by Renegades. Finally losing a player in this round. How far is TB willing to go? Well, his choices have been taken away. Renegades get their first round on the boards. We'll see what it's done to the CT money. Pause has been called by the CT side. Indeed, that's put him in an awkward spot. Love YY rather, and Savage. Both on around $3,500. Not a whole lot you can do with that.
It's going to be tough, that's for sure. And it's interesting too because I feel like, you know, obviously that round was kind of fortunate for Renegades. I mean, Ustillo got an instant kill, and there was a couple pokes outside which didn't really work out at all for VG Gaming, kind of putting them on the back foot, and it gave so much space to Renegades. Renegades walked into that site with such a big advantage. Their coordination was good though. So I have to see if they can you know, have more consistent openings to rounds, because I think that's not going to happen quite like that again. We get the UMPs out once more for VG Gaming, and Lovey's got the AWP in his hands at the moment. And I do wonder how outside is going to get played this round. That's kind of somewhat of a focus for me, and whether or not Renegades decide to play outside at all. It does look like they will have some players here, though. Lovey, oh, that is fantastic stuff there. That's a beautiful shot. And that is going to slow down any effort outside, maybe even deter it entirely.
That is such an early frag for the CT side as well. Renegades focusing on the inside for the time being. Savage again going towards the secret area with his UMP. And again, VG just playing patiently in the A site. TB can't retreat on this occasion. He's done well to retract back into B, but this time he'll get picked off. But he does keep the man advantage for his side. Love YY moving up to safe ground and back down again. Where is Shoking playing? Oh, really? That is crazy. That's absolutely ridiculous. Ustillo, last man versus 4. Can't take down Shoking either. That's another kill for him. 3K in this round, 6-1. Renegades don't really have an answer to VG at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. And I think this map stylistically doesn't suit Renegades as well as maps. I think you brought this point up earlier, actually. Maps like Mirage, you know, maps like Cash and Dust 2, I think stylistically are much more suitable for Renegades. But now they're going to have to, they really need to get something done with this half buy of theirs. They've got Tech 9s, they've got Kevlar, they've got some nades here. They can't possibly afford to go down this many rounds against VG Gaming. I don't think that they're going to have as strong of a CT side. Here we go. We get the wall of smokes outside. This did allow them to get deep into position on the lower bomb site previously. And again, you can see they can pretty much get down here for free. Just a few grenades to cover them as they go through the yard. And now it's down to the CTs to try to defend from these more enclosed spaces. So engagement-wise, this is not bad at all here for Renegades. And in fact, they do get 2 kills.
Could have been the third one, but not to be on this occasion. Ooh, they've got the advantage, however. Yam going for the brazen plant, and that's going to cost them. JKS gets a kill, but TB has the bomb in the middle of the site and has a weapon advantage over both these players. That's a nice angle for the 1 versus 1. Lovely stuff. Rike with a Tech 9 now. Is there any weapon he can pick up? Patient tapping as the bullets run out. Andy rescues the AWP. The open plant
I don't know.
It was a gamble with 1 round on the board.
I'm not sure, man. I mean, you've got a spot where your team has a big advantage. If you go for the safe plant, I mean, you'll find.
But maybe they're. I mean, they had problems with those plants with smoke diffusers earlier on, so maybe they're psychologically scarred.
Still though, if you're planting there, you're gonna get shot in the face. You're just gonna get shot in the face.
Yeah.
you get that plant when there's no one, when you know 100% there's nobody that can. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, you're very exposed. Anyway, fast round from Renegades to kind of bounce back into this one. It's 7-1. It's not too bad, too unrecoverable just yet, but it might becomes that way because we've got a lot of frags coming in from Advent, the hero of the upper bomb site. However, the bomb will be planted as Advent is removed forcefully from that bomb site. And a 3 versus 3, a very good situation here for Renegades with the bomb down.
Yeah, that smoke has only just been deployed as well, and it was deployed very tightly. No gaps in that smoke for VG to capitalize on. That's going to waste a lot of time. They're just waiting for that smoke to disappear. There is a kit on two of the 3 players. So still a chance. Nice flash from JKS. That may slow things down. Now it's Love YY in a position where he can't retreat to save. Oh, nice. Into the face of Yan. But it's too late to plant the bomb, but at least he can take everybody with him. JKS surely will not escape. He has been exploderized. Renegades finally get a round on the board. And look at the money. The money is ropey for both teams. Tactical pause coming out for Renegades.
Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it? I think they could find a lot of success with any kind of fast round in this one. I think generally speaking, Renegades are going to want to play fast pace, especially on Nuke. I think when you see these longer rounds where there's more decision making, where they're in spots where they're kind of much more segregated, they generally struggle a lot more. And again, it's kind of what I was talking about stylistically. I think the open maps are more suitable because, as you brought up previously, Nuke is quite a complicated map. And because it's not so heavily practiced by a lot of teams, there's a lot of tactical edges that people don't know about or aren't very used to dealing with, or engagements that people aren't very familiar with, as people would, conversely be very familiar with on your classics like Dusty, Mirage, and Cash.
This is a really interesting situation because both teams almost had the same money.
Yeah.
I mean, the CTs were a little bit shorter, and they've chosen to go for the force buy there, soaking UMP, no armor. But I like this decision because the edges, I mean, there are edges for both teams here. There's not much between them in this setup, and VG have the advantage of being on the CT side as well with a slightly weaker buy. So this balances out into a really interesting round. We've got a fast play into main. The split is real. Savage gets the HE down, and that will do the job. The bomb's down in the hut as well. Most of the players coming from main. Which way will it go, though? 2 kills for Ustillo. They do not realize that there's a player behind the vent. Trades the player in the hut, but Zoking coming out of nowhere. He's got no armor. Azza with 29 HP will just about get that round. Look how tight that was.
Yeah, same money, almost exactly the same buys, the same weakness of the buys, and it goes down to 1 man. That was absolute madness. But again, just Renegades taking it very fast into the upper bomb site. I think that worked out very well for them. And now they start the ascent, they start the climb back. But the tragedy would be if they really fail this force buy type situation. That would be a huge tragedy, very, very sad situation. They have to win this round. It will really start to cement them into a comeback situation. But there are CZs, there is armor and helmets. This is a map where the CTs can do a lot with these pistols. We need to see that approach from Catwalk. It's definitely the safest play. Get 2 or 3 players up through the catwalk onto the heaven position. A couple players waiting in lobby, playing very defensively.
Love YY's spot is very good for. That's a really. How do you ever check that angle?
It's a tough off angle. Yeah,
that's a really hard angle to check for the T side. But for the moment, they'll bide their time. See if any pushes will come out. If there are any flashbang shenanigans of a certain timing to try and eliminate all of those initial situations. TB catches JKS staring at the walls, or maybe his radar, I don't know. It's always horrible when you look at your radar and get shot in the head. But also holding an angle can be extremely boring. That's why people like Stu2K just constantly move their mouse, part of the reason why. As manages to find it, I think maybe Love YY had fired a few shots off first. But either way, he gets that sneaky angle. So Renegades may be able to recover. Just as I say that, Ustillo goes down in the lobby area towards radio. Renegades have the site now, however. Safe-ish plant can come in. VG got 2 rifles in the bag and lots of armor. 4 versus 2, so definitely going to go for this.
Yeah, this has gone a little bit weird here. I think Renegades had the right idea, but not quite the right execution of this round. and they're in a 2 versus 4 with a bomb down. I mean, at least that bomb's down, but all these players, all these CTs looking to get very close, looking to trade. That's how they can win this round. Get the trades in this 1 versus 3 right at the end for Azza, and he can't pull it out of the bag. That is a big problem. And it's really frustrating, isn't it? Because they lose some players needlessly there, kind of just sitting in forward positions when the plan should always be the same. The plan should always be just to get the players up onto heaven. They were able to do that. That secures you the bomb plant. It secures you the upper bomb site in its entirety. And you don't need anybody else to do that. They can just have the rest of your teammates, 2 or 3 of them, just playing passively, waiting for that moment. We get people getting picked off all over the place. And credit to VG Gaming for getting those picks, man. And now they're in an 8-3 situation, and they've reset Renegades once again.
Yeah, I can see some frustration over at the Renegades camp. Both teams are facing towards the crowd on the commentary desk. Back on the pistols. An awful start, it must be said, on this round. Savage blocking. Who's going to see who first? Down goes Savage. That's Galil picked up as well for Easterlo. But again, aim punch is going to be real. TB, how many can he take down here? He will be vulnerable, especially as he runs out of bullets. He's got a player coming in from control. That's shocking. Just in time. 2 kills for the Z-Man. Yam will get he'll get 2 frags actually towards the end there. So some damage done to the CyberZen economy, but ultimately it's Renegades who lose the round. And Renegades who will call for a pause as well.
Yeah, they're having a bit of a hard time. That is definitely the reality. 3 rounds is not enough. It's definitely not enough. They have to at least get to 5. And VG Gaming having some good rounds here. But their money's not too good because of how tumultuous a lot of these situations have been. And again, if Renegades even had some plans as to how to attack VG Gaming's defense, maybe from what they saw when VG were playing Tyloo, it's not really come into play too much, just because this map so far has been really crazy, and Renegades have never had really that much money to play with. Look at the UMP once again for Savage. He's quite prolific with it, I would say. And what is the option here for Renegades? They don't have many grenades. Full AKs though, but no grenades.
Savage, very forward position. That could take these players by surprise, because I haven't seen that in this match so far. The 180 to take down Eustillo, who I think was better equipped. Got to be careful of Silo now. Surely he spotted Azza. Yam to get taken down as well. Renegades are having a calamitous map rather. Azza, how much can he clean up now? He's got players peeking for him, but that's not to VG's advantage, I would say. They still got a man advantage now. 4 versus 3 instead of 5. Other 2 players from Renegades looking towards the ramp position. No challenge from there just yet. Checking all the corners, of which there are many. But where do they go from here?
Yeah, I mean, sitting on ramp is all well and good, and they do have time as well. But because there's 4 players alive here for VG Gaming, on this map you can just very easily reposition to account for this. So in some situations losing ramp is quite scary, but in this situation it's quite comfortable for VG Gaming. They can have some players in the vents. Of course, these Ts are forced to go for the plant at some point. They could even have 1 player in the control room if they really wanted to, and 1 player playing from the upper site in the vents. I mean, there's just so many setups here that for the CTs that are just very, very comfortable. So at this point, Renegades just have to make a crazy shot happen. And in they come in a very disadvantageous angle. Although the killer's traded, but there's not the numbers here for JKS. He's got 15 seconds to plant the bomb as well. Going into the upper bomb site, falling almost to slide down the door. And he will not get an opportunity to plant that bomb. And the round is shut down there by VG Gaming. And credit to Savage for that beautiful UMP play in the outer area of Nuke.
Yeah, that 180 was crucial, and he just continues to impress us with the UMP, which is awesome to watch. Nice one back to the MP9. Likes to switch between these 2 guns when he's not AWPing. And he's chosen a great timing for it. Again, we've got another round where Renegades have 5 smoke grenades, which would suggest a wall of smoke outside. And 1 for the balcony position to help them be protected from anybody towards heaven. There goes the wall.
Correct me if I'm wrong, isn't this the 3rd time we've seen this from Renegades when they had no money?
At least the 2nd time. I'm not sure about the 3rd time.
I think, did they do it on the pistol? I'm not sure actually. But yeah, at least this is the 2nd time for sure. Oh, this is going to be nice. Oh, the frags coming in. 2 could have been better, but still it's enough. And all they get is a measly MP9. Well then, that is that anti-eco dealt with.
Last round of the first half then. The last round of the first half, Renegades with 3 rounds on the board. Very surprising stuff. But, I mean, if they get 4, again, the pistol will be crucial. And then after that, they can really take off and mount the comeback as they did in the... I mean, this is almost a mirror. It was 11-4 last time, wasn't it? I think they were down 4-11 on their T side last time they played Nuke as well.
I actually can't remember.
I think I can. I think that's what it was. So we'll see. I mean, it's pretty much a mirror image. Should they win this round? But if they go 3-12, that it is just the 1 round, but it's considerably worse, I'd say. TB again, giving up the ramp position and staying alive, which is always important. Savage holding angles behind the smoke. Azza with a nice tap onto Choking, and they've spotted their second one. Down goes TB. Renegades in a good spot to take the 4th round.
A round they sorely require. Bomb planted by JKS. Where are the CyberZen players? The VG Gaming guys, where are they at? This last round, they're going to be going for it. Renegades know that, and they are just coordinating at the moment. But these positions, there's 5 players post-plant alive on the B-bomb site on Nuke. Good luck, VG Gaming. First member down, that's lovely. But they are able to frag some back here, cleaning out the back areas.
Oh,
wow,
man.
that is a fast shot. What is happening right now? It's just JKS left in a 1 versus 2. They need this round. They can't possibly afford to give this up, and JKS will not let it happen. Cleans up the last 2 players. But that was almost a 2 versus 5, James, almost, but not quite.
Yeah, the dangerous thing for Renegades is that VG seem to be pretty wired on this map at the moment. Again, another 11-4. We need to wait for somebody to reconnect to the server, but other than that, we should be good to go. So if Azza can have another standout performance on the pistol round and Renegades can make it 5-11, then again, you have to expect some... I mean, 7-11 seems fair, and after that, who knows? But... that if they can take the pistol and the following 2, then that gap isn't so big anymore, isn't so dangerous anymore. So they're just asking for an admin. I think Vichy might need some help over there. Okay, so we should be reconnecting shortly.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because again, if Renegades were picking this map because over train because they're like, okay, maybe we're not super confident on our train lately, even though we're quite experienced there. We can play Nuke, we can play it, and we spotted this stuff to exploit from VG Gaming. VG Gaming, if we just do these kinds of rounds, we'll be able to exploit their defense. That's kind of how it works normally. Is if you see something and it's an exploitable defense, as opposed to when you're on your CT side. And you're like, well, we're just going to defend. We just think we can defend these rounds. It's not quite the same mindset. An exploitable offense is not as commonly looked towards when you're looking at how to counter a team. It's more about their defense and how they set up their defenses and their strengths on the defense. And because you can tailor rounds against that, it's much easier to do on the T side. But now Renegades are on the CT side. So it's back to normality, potentially, for that sense. I don't think they ever really got the opportunities to exploit any weaknesses if they saw them on VG Gaming's CT side. So we'll see how this pans out. But, of course, as you said, Renegades, it's a must-win this pistol round. They must start with good economy to begin things here. I mean, if Azza's hitting shots like he was on Dust 2, they should be fine.
Let's see if we can do that. Renegades on the defense. Standard stuff. JKS over towards ramp again. Standard stuff from Advent, popping all the windows. He is breaking a lot of glass. The build will be expensive. What else is going on at the moment? He still is on the ground in the A site. You can see Ricko's angle there. Yam on the high ground as well, so he can have a double peek with you, Stillo. I think he's lining up for the double peek with his teammate, which is very intelligent to do. Renegade is notorious for that triple peak on Dust 2 back in the day when they were still being discovered in international waters. I will never forget that. It was super awesome Savage has deployed the grenade into the A site, but looks like there's a ramp push coming in from VG.
Yeah, they've managed to go for the occupation. That's fantastic, though. Renegades have said, okay, we're going to give it up. That's how it works on Nuke. You give up the space, you rotate around it, and look at the defense coming in here. The flanks coming in. They've got players in positions. Nice pop there from Azza. Look at JKS. This is the position he went from ramp to, and it's working out wonderfully. There's really nothing to do here for VG Gaming. Surely, just, oh my god, all the kills all day. Tech 9 for JKS as well. Savage gets nothing also. And this is the kind of rotation that you want to see, especially on buy rounds as well. That's exactly how it's done. Obviously, on buy rounds, you get some grenades to throw into the mix for delay. But yeah, that's how you do it.
They didn't get a single kill.
Yeah, man, that's how you do it.
They did not get a single kill in that round. That's what Renegades needed. And see, even before these 2 rounds come in, I feel confident that Renegades are going to charge back up the scoreboard here. But there is a question for them to answer as to why they can't get more than 4 rounds on their T side of Nuke at the moment. But that is for another day. For now, it is the recovery, the road to recovery. Savage moving very quickly. Lovely timing of the smokes as well. So he's instantly into secret. Let's see how the CTs play this in comparison to how VG did. Azza down in the event already, dropping the smoke, which you mentioned earlier, Dan, and that's going to pay off immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it's typically where as it is now, you would expect the CT to start off in that position, but come back to this. The push comes into a ramp. It's not going to be looking too good here. JKS is on point, and pretty much everybody's eliminated at this point. Tech 9 doing some extra work, but it is all for naught. And to quickly go back to the point, typically in the setups that we saw in the last matchup with Renegades on this map, Azza is playing the vent, and the issue that he often found himself in when there was a buy round coming into secret is that, unlike the smoke that we just saw that you noted, it was a shorter smoke which gave a clear path to the control room, and these are 2 very distinct differences, because the one that allows a path to control room is very strong for the Ts, and that kept happening as well for Renegades. That was a problem that they had too, was the control room situation. So we'll have to see how that does develop, and if they will put or change their setup in the sense of that. But they have the eco. They've earned this, James. They've earned this. They won the pistol round. They defended the force buy, and now they've earned the anti-eco.
Indeed, they have Azza pushing through Squeaky. See where he can find. He's got a teammate in tow. They know the players on the roof, and he's still will bring out that MP7 again. An MP7, $500 more than the UMP. They have their advantages, better rate of fire on the MP7. Look at these passive positions. They're trying to get every edge they can, VG. They've only got Glocks, but they're camping in T-spawn, Dan. Yeah. This reminds me of 1.6 back in the day, public servers.
No van to hide in anymore.
You're just sitting there dead, flying through the map, waiting for people to die.
The thing is, though, Renegades should never push these 2 players, really. I mean, in reality, like, if they just sat there and you got this situation where they're just, I mean, because if you look at the potential, like what you can lose, obviously this situation is not as bad as what we sometimes see, where, you know, the most you can gain is, let's say, getting rid of a couple P250s from, let's say, the players who are just sitting in some awful position. But if you die to that one shot from the P250, let's say, then you've lost like 3-4k of value all of a sudden.
It's quite interesting, actually, those 2 players just camping and spawn, because, I mean, they've got nothing to lose just being with Glocks, and they're going to die eventually because they have to run out and die to get money. But it can just break up the momentum of their opponent.
Yeah, that's a good point as well.
Well, let's see what the CTs are doing. They're going for another mad push through hut, squeaky door, and ramp at the same time. This is quite the charge here. TB's in a strong position, however. They've lost 2 players on either side. Renegades didn't buy up. They still got the MP9 and the MP7, so they won't be too concerned at the moment, even if they are to lose the round. Savage spotted, looking the wrong way, unfortunately for him. He will go down. You still upgrade from an MP7 to a UMP. Better armor penetration on that one, but the slower rate of fire. So 2 VG players remain versus the 3 of Renegades, and there's still some time on the clock here, considering Renegades' fast play. 1 towards ramp, Rookie on the high ground towards A, and Stilo towards B.
And it's such a big win, too, for Renegades if they pick up this round. Of course, they carried in the SMGs from the previous round. If they had to take this round, force another eco, keep some SMGs into that one, they make us so much money. they make so much money. That's the play they've gone for. They've gone for the risk. And even if they lose a round, if they're able to kill almost everybody, then they're very happy with that situation, I think. Because then VG have to worry about the reset situation. And this is a good way to start things off. The bomb's yet to go down right now. And Lovey has a problem of time. He's got a problem of too many players to deal with. And they can just wait. I mean, Renegades can just wait. He has to plant. They can just wait for him to plant. They don't have to face him. And now he's going to go for the re-smoke it. And there is the plant attempt in the smoke. And out comes Ricket to deal with him. And 2 players surviving. AK picked up. UMP saved from Yam. And look at the money for Renegades. This is paid off wonderfully.
Yeah, that was a great time to go for a 3-man push from 3 directions with the anti-eco weapons as opposed to the full buy. And that puts them in a super strong spot to just continue climbing up. They've won all the rounds in the second half so far. 3 rounds behind VG now, who are on the Tech 9 armor buy. They've got a few smokes, a few flashes. TB's got a Molotov, which makes you wonder if they're going to go for a play towards A with the Molotov in through the roof. Ricky's gone for the forward position once again. We've got Shoking, who is surely going to get taken down here. The flash as well. Ricky smartly backing up, keeping that range advantage with his weapon.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried for him there, just going so close in a round where there are Tech 9s. And so slowly but surely, the Tech 9s are actually taking damage. See Savage almost actually just dying through just rampant spray through the smoke. So problems here for VG as they look to try to get an edge and an advantage into this round. But there's no damage to be found just yet. Just some damage onto Ricky, some damage onto Yam, but no frags. Advent and TB, the last men standing. And are they going to get anything at all here? Again, if we see some discipline from Renegades, they don't have to push. They can just hold the big ranges, as you were highlighting. And Ricky gets caught there. I'm not sure what he was looking at, but that's a big pickup here for TB. He's managed to find himself an AK to go with his Kevlar. And all of a sudden, with the extra kill that came in on to Ustillo, TB can actually cause real problems here. He doesn't have the bomb. That's really the main issue, though. So he does have to go and find the Renegades players. But I think it's definitely worth it trying to hurt their economy in this situation.
Azza has a great angle should TB emerge from the vents. 20 seconds left, and I do wonder if he's going to just hold on to his AK for the next rounds. Here, I mean, his team will be at maximum loss bonus, so they'll be able to buy, and he's got money to replenish his grenades, so it's perfectly fine in this situation. Renegades closing in on round number 10 on double figures, as you see on the VG side. Clean 10,000 for Yam. Nothing like having a clean $10,000, Dan.
And we're going to see Ricky on the AWP now. And he's only got 7 frags at the moment. And you can typically see this issue on Nuke, where on the T side, maybe your dedicated AWPer, if he's not a player that's very, very capable of rifles as well, you might not see very much from him on that side. So when it moves on to the CT side, that's where you expect the performance. And previously today, when we saw Ricky on this map on the CT side with the AWP, he was missing a lot of shots, and he's really hurt. You know, his performance was not as you would expect. So this is the time for redemption for Ricky. And as far as VG Gaming go, it looks like they want to have a setup here towards a ramp take. What do we have to defend this with? It's just JKS.
Yeah, the default has been JKS on his absolute Jack Jones. Yam gets taken down to the outside, and Savage is going to rotate. But the push continues towards the ramp position. Many numbers there for the T side. Are they willing to go into B, though? Or they bide their time? A minute 12 on the clock. They don't need to commit to anything just yet. Love YY. Actually, there we go. There's a bomb. It gets planted. Azza is in the vent. Love YY realizes someone's there. It doesn't get the... That's a very awkward spot to throw a grenade in fairness. 2 more Molotovs as well. Another one's being deployed. So VG just trying to stop the retake from coming in at all.
I mean, the thing, though, is that JKS has the control room position. He fell back there. But the problem is that Renegades are taking way too long to coordinate onto the retakes, and they just don't have any time to do it now. And, of course, also they lost another man in the effort. But JKS did the right thing here. You know, he spotted the push. He didn't try to take the engagement. He just fell back onto the ramp position. And then basically it's on his teammates to rotate into spots where they can actually help him retake the bomb site from. And, unfortunately, they weren't able to do that. So interesting stuff, actually. And however, for Renegades, they do have the money to buy up again. So this will be quite interesting because, of course, VG Gaming, they did very well in keeping a lot of players alive there. So they're going to have a bit of bank, even if they lose this round. And Renegades absolutely need to get to stop VG Gaming right now because they're already on 12 rounds. And if they get momentum at this point, it could be over for Renegades very soon on this map. So what do you have here? Yusilo going for a quick push here. Very fast pace. Oh, shut down. JKS gets one trade there, but Yusilo in lobby. No one to trade for him. Azza comes in from door to try to get something out there. And JKS again able to trade with that HE. And fast action here. Rick finding himself an angle as VG Gaming send Advent through the main position. Savage in a 1 versus 2 here. What a crazy round.
JKS still close to the bomb around the radio room area. Savage has a minute 10 with which to come in for some shenanigans. We've got a double peek now. Rick is going to take up the angle and JKS can watch his back, but he's got to pick his angles wisely. In fact, they're both focusing in the same direction. Savage on the high ground now. It's going to take him a long time to go for the flank though, and he's checking all kinds of areas which are really far away from the bomb. So I think he's ultimately wasting a lot of his own time. Not sure if there was a sound cue heard by Renegades there. So Savage suggesting he is in one area. Nice. Okay, puts the smoke down to focus, but he doesn't realise that the angle's already been passed. Going to run straight out with a grenade in his hand. Just why would you do that? You can't do that. There's no. That's not a no. You have an AWP.
Didn't expect the trade fragger though, and that will be the end of him. So, yeah, 12 to 10, and that was the round that Renegades had to really win to keep hold of this map here, keep themselves in for a chance. And we do get the pause coming in from VG. VG Gaming looking for some answers here. They don't have the money to buy in this round. Their money's all over the place. They've got 2 players around 1,500 and 2 around 5K. Not the best look for them as Renegades bring themselves all the way back into this one. Yeah, Yusilo and JKS having a good performance here so far. 22 frags and 23 apiece. Now, what is the option here for VG Gaming? Again, it would be good to see challenges outside, just because, you know, I think Rick needs more tests to his performance. He's not really had too much action, actually, outside. He's been playing fairly passive positions towards the garage so far. However, VG Gaming, they don't have any AWPs to try to contend with him just yet, or even really any rifles. They've got 1 rifle. Going to go for the force hit. Let's see what they can get with it. Ricky actually going to go towards radio here. This is actually a very nice way to start off this round for Renegades, I think, positionally.
Yeah, again, their default has JKS on his own, but we might have to come back to that because they're pushing in quickly. Azza's let one go past, but his teammate Yusilo is going to be able to cut him down. Trades for both, though. But Savage now last man standing. He's on the high ground somehow, and the CT's going to have no idea, so he might get himself a free kill. JKS with a flying 180 spray. Not sure what made him realise. I think that the call might have come in from his teammate, actually, who was over towards the CT vents, but didn't really have the angle to get anything done there. So, could have been worse. No plant's important. Sort of keep Renegades honest. Sorry, keep VG honest as Renegades continue the comeback. 1 round away now. Very good opportunity to tie the score and build some more money to weather the storm later on.
Yeah, it's starting to look really good for Renegades. It feels very tense all the time because it does feel like at any point VG Gaming could just steal away back the momentum, and they already have 12 rounds. So only just a mere 4 away from claiming this map and forcing it to a 3rd. But Renegades back into the driving seats of this one. And VG Gaming, last time they had a round like this, it finished by Renegades rushing T-spawn. So I wonder if we'll see something similar again. Perhaps not. But there are only PT50s here for VG Gaming, nothing much else. And damage would be really nice. So, you know, that's another reason why they're waiting so long. They want Renegades to get impatient. They want that situation to happen. They want Renegades to rush them and concede a weapon or 2.
Lovey testing the lubrication of the door hinges. And I think it will pass probably 6 out of 10, making a bit of noise. JKS just closing the net somewhat. Asking questions of some of the options. How long will VG make Renegades wait though? 35 seconds. Some picking going on. And VG focusing on the ramp now. But Yam is there. He's got support on the way as well. So can't expect much more to be done there. It's Advent alone with P250. No frags for the VG side. But again, they can just waiting around like that, Titan style, can give them opportunities to talk amongst themselves. Can't talk with their coach without a pause, but at least they can talk to each other.
And this is it, really. If they were talking to each other, if they do have a plan, then we'll see it enacted upon in this round. And you know, I was talking about the outside stuff, and again, I do wonder if that's going to be a plan for them. The outside presence is very important. You can get you all kinds of action. Just having the wall of smokes outside and then pushing 1 or 2 players down secret. You know, I mean, you can bring a player out of there, and it just creates so much pressure. It forces rotations. It you know, eases up the defense on ramp for you to take later on into the round, for example. We're going to get Lovey going for the Molotov there in towards the CT vents. And there's no one there. As always, sat on top of the huts.
Nice shot there by Shoking, but he's going to get traded by Ustilo, who still has the high ground. Yam coming in for a very fast flank. They have no idea where he is. Savage finally trades, but he's the last man standing now versus 3 players, all streaming into the A site. Renegades survive with 3, including the AWP. Strong stuff for them. Instant pause coming in from CyberZen. The money has been ruined, and Renegades take the lead.
Yeah, this is a problem. That was a massive win there. The A split comes in. They didn't have many grenades to get it, but the instant kill onto Azza was just phenomenal there. From I think it was Shocking who got that one. Yeah, it was indeed. So credit to Shocking for getting an amazing entry, but it kind of stopped there. The buck stopped there. There was nothing else to follow it up with, which is really problematic. And VG Gaming looking for another solution now. And if you can't get upper to work, if you can't get, you know, if you don't want to just go for a fairly quick ramp play, you got to start experimenting with the outside area, and they don't have really much time to do that with at this point. And outside was somewhat suspect in the previous Nuke match that Renegades played today. And again, as I mentioned, in part it was due to the fact that Ricky wasn't on point as you normally would expect, but he's had a lot of time to warm up, so I might not apply now.
So JKS is moving towards the vent area, the secret area. Popping a Molotov into radio room as he passes, and Ricky will hold the angle. So that's something different in the setup. It's been like that for a few rounds here now. Indeed, once a team realizes JKS is playing ramp on his own, they look to exploit it. But Renegades changing things up pretty quickly. Missing the shot is Ricky, and he is going to need a lot of help now because with the AWP, it's going to be hard for him not to get traded in a situation. There's one nice frag with a P250, and indeed he'll get traded immediately. JKS keeps the AWP safe though. Azza needs to get out of there. 4 versus 2, numbers advantage disappearing perhaps, or maybe not. TB now, alone versus 3 players. The bomb deep in the B bomb site. Looking for some flanking players. He will be looking for the flanking plays and trade fraggers rather than the person holding the initial angle to try and give himself some advantages. 35 seconds. He doesn't have all the time in the world, but he's convinced somebody might be waiting there, holding angle behind, and he finds him. So 1 versus 2. JKS and Azza are both heavily tagged.
And this is also a similar way that Renegades lost a very important round last time as well. All those AWP shots missed, and it's come to this. TB peaks into Azza, and he will go down. A very scary situation around that should have been just a formality turned into an opportunity for VG Gaming once again because of these missed shots from Ricky. We'll have to see if that's something that is going to hurt them further as we move forwards now, because we're going to have Savage. He instead of picking up the UMP, James, he's finally said, all right, guys, I've had enough. I'm buying an AWP.
I'm going in.
I'm going in. I'm going to fix these problems.
Let's see if he can do that. See what the approach is for VG at the beginning of this round. Shame we haven't seen more of the wallbanging that Ricky showed us on this map on the T side. So close as well. Speak of the devil. Going for those wallbangs. But also warning shots. You might not want to come in this direction. May be to your doom. Stilo's on the heaven position, just watching any cross towards Secret for the time being. Yam has his off angle towards team main once again, and he's been really good at the rotations when VG have made it in there and just traded for his teammates immediately, shut them down from the back. So Renegades look to have a strong setup at the moment on their CT side.
Yeah, I mean, Savage was poking outside. I think he wanted to try to find Ricky, but obviously Ricky was playing ramp with his AWP, so both AWPers missing each other on the early stages of the round, and finally good going for these challenges. Savage gets the trade onto JKS, an important one, and there's 50 seconds left now. So a one-for-one trade that's going to be very quite helpful here for VG Gaming as they look to try to push perhaps into the upper bomb side. Actually, they've got Joking in a pretty nice position outside there to come into the vents if he wants to. And if he wants to actually pressure the upper bomb site. So let's see what his decision is here. He actually opens the door, and his teammates are going to start piling through ramp here. So he's going to help to make sure that they can get safe patches onto the bomb site and then retake control of the control room. So great stuff here. Rickett has to hit these shots. There's the first one. That's good. What else can he get here as we get a trade from Shawking?
Swapping out for the M4, trying to be more dynamic through the flames. What a hero play from Ricky. Is there time to plant the bomb? 4 seconds, 3, choking in the vent. And there's no time to plant a bomb there. Yam, can he get anything else done? Doesn't even matter. That is a horrible round for VG. Lovely play from Ricky. Great decisive play. I don't care if I'm on fire. You're not going to plant the bomb. Crucial stuff being done there by Renegades. 12-15, this could be the last round.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ricky, as you say, had a great performance in that round. Definitely a redemption for making his teammates' lives difficult in a round previous to that. And now it's a very grim situation for VG Gaming. They have to go in here. They don't have the optimal situation on the grenades. They're really up against the wall. And Ricky is going to go in here for a quick pick. He doesn't connect the shot. Oh, actually does connect the shot. He gets a tag through the wall onto Lovey, so that's 55 HP for him. Meanwhile, in the outside area, we've got Savage pushing forwards, but this off angle from Yam is fantastic. Picks up an easy kill onto Savage. Joaquin unable to find a trade by design from Yam. Forced to go in for the split here, and that is nice. Joaquin with another entry frag onto Azza. He's still holding things down.
Great maneuvering around the bridge, leaving it into a 4 versus 2. Advent coming through towards Squeaky, but the smoke may deter him from that. TB's got great high ground outside A, and he'll take Ricky on the rotation. And now he can run distraction while Advent tries to do something, maybe through Hut. The nades flying in. Advent's the key player now, because he's the unknown factor. However, Usilo has his angles, and his angles will get him shot in the face. Pushing while the nade comes out, won't be enough. JKS can't get the frag. What's going on? Yam's a key man now. He's the only man left. Advent heavily tagged. Where is he going with the bomb? TB still on the high ground, and he is pointing straight at Yam's head. CyberZen not out of this just yet.
I thought they were done for sure in that round with the way that one started off, but 15-13 is overtime on the cards here because Renegades don't have any money. They're most likely losing this one, and this is, you can see Advent's effort here. This is where things really went terribly wrong.
That is crazy. He had a grenade in his hand. Yeah,
that's the moment. JKS not getting that kill. I mean, that should be a guaranteed trade. That's where things got really awkward. Okay, so Renegades, can they bounce back on the next round? They're going to get one more chance here before overtime. One more chance before overtime. Assuming that something insane does not happen on this pistol round, but... No.
JKS had about 7 to 8k. He dropped pistols to most of his team for this round. VG will be very careful indeed. You have to wonder if Renegades are starting to sweat now. They don't want any more overtimes.
I think overtime would definitely be helpful for them, but in some senses, I think they'd be favored. But at the same time, yeah, you don't want to get there. You just never want overtime. If you can avoid it, just close the damn match. It's not helpful when
you've got match point.
Yeah, exactly. Close the damn match.
Definitely not helpful.
Close the damn match. ABC James, always be closing. It is the rule. It is the rule. So the nades here for VG Gaming to get themselves into these picking spots. Just leading the pick is Lovey. into that ramp area. So it's going pretty well here so far for the VG Gaming team. Should be good to go.
Yeah, this is a formality, it seems. JKS now versus 4 with a P250. Couldn't get the fatal connection onto Zoking there. To Joking, rather. So here we go. Renegades have 1 round. And so do VG. Pressure's on. Pause has come in from Renegades. The money, well, JKS has 9k, so he can help Ricky out. But, yeah, I do worry if they have the temerity to do this now. Worry for them, at least. VG are going to have everything they want. Savage can buy up his grenades. It's been a struggle, though, for the T side, so you still got to favour Renegades. They've only been 3 round wins for VG in this half.
Yeah, that's true.
5 and then 6 rounds in a row for Renegades. So, I mean, they have to be a heavy favourite, depending on, well, let's see what they can get out in their buy. I'm pretty sure JKS has dropped an AWP for Ricky. Indeed he has. And they've got most of the grenades. JKS and Ricky a little bit short. You still owe the 1 defuse kit in the round. That may be important. Oh, VG going for a rush.
Yeah, really fast play here, and not a good start here as it finally changes position away from Hart. His teammates have to come up huge, and that is what JKS does. 2 quick kills there with the spray down. Death from above there as we have a 3 versus 2. Joaquin coming in from the held position here from ramp, and he gets a free frag onto Ricky. Does he expect there to be JKS? He does not, leaving just Savage, the man Savage, the guy that can always deliver. For VG Gaming, this is the moment where he needs to deliver the most in this 1 versus 2. He's got plenty of time and he has the bomb.
He's walking with his knife out because it still gives him some faster speed. And with a minute on the clock, may not be all you think it is, depending on where he wants to go. 29 bullets in his magazine, no need to reload. That would give his position away, depending on where the CTs are. JKS repositioning, could go for a drop into main. So I like that play. Savage seems headed towards the B-bomb site. Yam is, I mean, these positions from Renegades are very unlikely. You would never see those coming. But also they can push a site together, whichever site it may be, once they hear those beeps. They should be in position to hear the beeps as well from where they are. Savage is going for the high ground play on the B-bomb site. And there we go. Here comes the rotation from Renegades. How will they play this together? They can either try to split each site or push from the same direction where you'd never expect a trade fragger, but they don't realize it's a B-bomb site just yet. They're still looking for A.
Oh, that is actually a problem.
And neither of them have the kit, the one kit that Ustillo had at the beginning.
This is a really big problem because that plant is so exposed. The low health on Savage is his problem, and Savage is going to be coming in now. There comes the defuse. Oh, straight away, JKS gets it done for Renegades. And even with no kit, there's plenty of time for Yam to cut the wires. And Renegades will take the win.
Great performance from Renegades. Worrying at the end there of the second map, but after the first one, they definitely had momentum in their favour. They strung loads of rounds together on their CT side. Not sure why they can't get more than 4 rounds on their T side, though, so something to look into in review. But they continue to proceed. VG not out of their chairs yet, maybe a bit shell-shocked after that series.
Yeah, it was a really tough one for them. And as you said, I mean, I was really struggling to see Renegades actually winning the map with the start that they had, because their start was really poor on that first half, and it seemed like such a struggle for them to get those T rounds. And it does feel like Renegades to me always feels like a team where the T side is comfortable, because they've got very dynamic players and they've got a lot of explosiveness to them. So didn't expect it to go that way. So I'm very impressed, though, that they managed to actually have, as you said, the temerity, the composure to bring it back right at the end, though.
Let's see what the desk think of that series. Over to you, Scott.
Born and raised in South Detroit.
Oh, my God.
Don't
You're
stop
just gross.
believing.
Wow.
Someone's going to get
That's
fired.
good.
Weird
That
turn.
was nice. I'm out. I gotta go.
Honestly dreadful.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I practiced hard on it. That was a challenge from Twitter.
I don't think that's a viable character choice for you. So.
No, stay off the singing. Well, again, we were watching the green room most time, and we were like, they're throwing this away. Like, the Renegades is going to lose this. And
Close.
Very close. Very, very close.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Nice casting as always. Let's break this down.
I think it's safe to say, or I think we can confirm the fact that Nuke cannot be a comfort pick for
Anybody.
Renegades. Just
Yeah.
straight up, no, you don't have a good enough clue of what you're doing to play this map as like this is your pick going into like you cannot feel safe on this map. That's pretty much the feeling I'm left with. Even though they end up winning, the way they played out their T side and how they kind of screw up, a massive advantage at I think it was 7-3. They end up losing to the second force fight in a row, coming in from Vici in that period of time where Vici are just slowly getting weaker and weaker, and there's I don't know.
That was the point in time they could have just changed the whole game, right? But they just mocked up against CZs, basically.
Yeah, they could have gotten into a situation where 8-7 would have been like a reasonable thing to expect because obviously Vici just grinding out their money, they would have had gone to double eco or just continuously forced, which would have been terrible for them as well. Instead, they give up that big edge that they have and lose the entire half 11-4 instead, which is terrible.
Yeah.
Just straight up, especially from where they were at, because again, like nothing super special from Vici coming on their T side or their CT side for that matter. They're not one of those teams that should be giving you a lot of issues on that map if that's your map. Like this is supposed to be one of your go-to maps.
Yeah, like even though Renegades is undefeated on Nuke, still they've just scraped
I think that's
through.
more down to the opponents.
Yeah, they've just scraped through very gimmicky wins. I don't think that's something they should be thinking of too much, or unbeatable on Nuke. Quite the opposite, actually. It looks quite volatile, if
Very
I'm honest.
shaky, yeah.
So a lot of question marks in my head, but kudos to them for coming back into the city side. A lockdown definitely for them, and having the mental fortitude to keep their composure.
Yeah, like I said, it almost got away from them, but in the end they got it. And again, those are the kind of mistakes that you have to fix before you start playing the top 10 in the world, because they will punish you time and time again on that, and they were able to squeak back on that one.
And one really good thing is the fact that obviously what we saw the first time around they played the first time around they played Nuke here, it was the fact that Ricky was having a good game. He was able to find picks, and even though Yam necessarily wasn't finding stuff out in yard, they were able to shut down that area of the map together. This time around, Ricky wasn't having a good game at all, but they were still able to find CT rounds, even though they couldn't kind of just put a stop sign on yard for Vici and kind of deny them access to that throughout the half. So there are positives in that sense. The fact that they do find ways to win, even when I guess the initial game plan or how in a perfect world how they want things to play out doesn't work. So that's obviously something you want to bring with you forward.
And again, keep in mind, VG's not out. They just dropped down to the lower bracket. This is all a double elimination tournament. So tomorrow we're going to obviously have MVP Project taking on Tyloo first, but then the winner of that is going to sit and play VG. So again, they got a lot of thinking to do and figuring out for tomorrow, but they're not out yet.
Especially after that dust too.
Yeah, let's take a look at the scoreboard and kind of take one final look at this map. What do you think, Vendetta?
Well, again, JKS having
34.
a big game. Yeah. Definitely having a big game for Renegades, as we kind of talked about. Ustilo as well showing up towards the later stages of the day, which is also great. So you can kind of tell where they were struggling, Renegades on their end. That was the players towards that yard area. They weren't able to shut it down, but luckily they had the guys playing towards the inner ramp, being able to make the rotations and actually salvage kind of a lost situation later on in the round.
And then JKS is going to be our MVP of the match, which makes perfect sense. And again, just a reminder for folks that have been watching all weekend, you'll notice that impact rating. This is a new rating done by So Strong, and they're tweaking it here on the fly, actually try to make it more accurate, make more sense for a true impact rating. So yesterday and earlier today, you might have seen 10s, 9s, and 11s. The whole scale has been brought down. So now it's just it all means the same thing, but it's just not such an elevated number.
There's a lot of different variables they're going to be putting in there.
Cool system they're working on.
Yeah,
really
I like it. I like the idea. I like the concept. I hope that this kind of is going to be implemented on a larger basis as well for other tournaments.
Yeah, good stuff. So what else should we talk about? I mean.
Well, for Vici, it's not all doom and gloom, even though they have a fairly lackluster performance here in their final game of the day. They do come out of this day having beaten Tyloo, which is something of a rarity for them. So, I'm saying most likely, obviously you're never supposed to go full Moses and say 100% meeting meeting Tyloo tomorrow. But
Never go full Moses.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a high likelihood of them running into Tyloo tomorrow in that consolidation final.
Sure.
Exactly. So they have that to kind of fall back on the fact that, well, we know it's not impossible anymore. We've done it once. We can do it again. So, yeah, don't let this game here versus Renegades weigh too much down on you.
Yeah, it's going to be a fierce battle tomorrow for that second spot towards the final.
Yeah,
I wouldn't count out MVP Project either. I mean, they've had their fights against Tyloo previously, so I think that's going to be a great match to start things off. And yeah, I mean, it's just going to be brutal tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess
definitely.
I guess we got to congratulate the Renegades as well because they have secured a spot now.
Yeah, they've secured a spot in the final minor qualifier for the major. And obviously they're in the finals for tomorrow.
Or is it the major LAN qualifier? I don't know.
What is the main major, the main offline qualifier.
For the major.
This is the inception.
Yeah, for the major.
This is the inception.
Basically, they've gotten to the thing that they can get them to the thing.
They got one more thing to get to the thing.
So there are 16 teams battling for 8 spots eventually in that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That thing.
Nailed it.
The big thing. That's going to do it for us. We will be back bright and early, 10 a.m. tomorrow, same time as we started today. The final day, 3 more best of 3, starting off with MVP Project, taking on Tyloo. See you in just a few hours.